Matthews here from Forex Traders. Have you ever found yourself doing something while trading and then later on you think about it later on, you ask yourself, what was I thinking? So, if you want to know more about this, watch the rest of the video. Awesome. So today we're going to talk about what we call an amygdala hijack. Most of you, it's going to be the first time you are actually hearing about an amygdala hijack. So what is this animal? So this, what you're seeing right here, is the human brain, right? It's a cross section of the human brain right here, and you can clearly see that this green thing that you're actually seeing here, it's actually part of your brain, part of our brain. This is an amygdala. You have it, we all have it. Okay, and then this right here, the same area here, is what is responsible for our emotions. It's part of the system which is called the limbic system, which is responsible for our emotions. And this right here is what causes us to have emotions. All right, and then there's another part of the brain which is more of the what controls the executive functioning, such as your reasoning, uh, thinking, and all those things that make us intelligent. Is the prefrontal cortex. It's all responsible for that, right? So these two things right here, the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, have opposing functions, right? So what happens is that whenever you are triggered, whenever there's a perceived trigger or danger or stressor, what happens is that the one that is responsible for your emotions is triggered first, because it actually reacts faster than the prefrontal cortex. Remember, the prefrontal cortex takes time to process the information and then come up with proper reasoning, and then you can do something. Therefore, it takes a little bit longer. The reason why it's called the amygdala hijack is when the information that trigger is actually received, the amygdala responds quicker, and the amygdala responds by either causing you to fight, flight, or freeze. Through the production, it facilitates the production of epinephrine and norepinephrine, right? Those are responsible. Those are the ones that are actually responsible for fight, flight, or freeze. So those are going to be the results of the amygdala. And by the time you are going to think about that situation, it's going to be too late, because the prefrontal cortex takes time to process the information. And that's the reason why when you touch a hot stove, you respond just quickly, because the amygdala helps you do that. Just imagine if you had to, if the amygdala was not functional, you'd wait for the prefrontal cortex to actually process the information or find out, oh, this is a stove, this is a hot stove, how hot is it? Okay, can I get burnt here? I mean, you end up really getting severe, right? And thanks to our amygdala, we're able to respond faster. But the thing is, the amygdala cannot differentiate real danger and perceived discomfort. All right, so let's go. So, what is an amygdala hijack? An amygdala hijack is a term used to describe strong emotional response that overwhelms rational thought and reasoning, often triggered by perceived danger or threat, just like we've talked about. So whenever there's this amygdala hijack, there's a circulation and blood flow to the prefrontal cortex is cut off. Therefore, you can't think at that particular time. Have you ever encountered a situation where you've taken a trade and the market has hit your stop loss, and then you are too emotionally attached to that particular trade, or you had unrealistic expectations attached to that trade? What are you going to do? Without you actually being aware, your amygdala is going to cause you to either fight, flight, or freeze. But most of the time, for us traders, what ends up happening is actually we get to fight, and we try to revenge trade because we want to try to, and make that money back. And then you end up using a bigger lot size, taking multiple positions, and then later on you think about it to be like, what the hell was I doing? Right? And then you ask yourself, what was I doing? The truth is that you were not in control. At that particular time, your prefrontal cortex was hijacked by the amygdala, hence the term amygdala hijack. So it's really, really important for us as traders to actually understand this concept. It all comes to us being able to manage our emotions. If we don't manage our emotions, we are always going to fall prey to amygdala hijack because we are constantly facing this perceived threat or danger. And remember, your amygdala can't differentiate you losing a trade. It will look at that as something extremely bad, and it will trigger those production of epinephrine and norepinephrine, which will cause you to act in a certain way. And at that particular time, you won't actually be able to reason, and you only think about it later when you've blown an account, when you've violated the rules of the prop firm, and all those things which come with trading. So it's extremely important for us as traders to actually be aware of our emotions and find ways to actually avoid having this amygdala hijack, because this happens so often. Unfortunately, most traders are not even aware about it. So if you know what I'm talking about, comment in the comment section, right? So how does it apply to forex trading? So in forex trading, an amygdala hijack refers to a situation where a trader experiences an intense emotional response that can interfere with the ability to make rational decisions. Why can this interfere with our ability to make rational decisions? Remember, I said because the part of the brain which is responsible for our higher functioning, like reasoning, thinking, rationalizing, all that part of the brain is blocked. It's hijacked by the amygdala. Therefore, you can't think, you can't reason, and then you only get to think about it later on. And this is the reason why. So this can occur when a trader becomes too emotionally invested in a trade and they experience a significant financial loss. So, like I always talk about, guys, we always have to make sure that we have a long-term mindset and also have a probabilistic mindset, knowing that in the short term, anything can happen and we have no control over outcome. The moment we are going to realize that we have no control over outcome, therefore we will stop putting so much emphasis or putting expectations on individual trades, because we have no control over what's going to happen in the short term. However, we have to make sure that we have a strategy that has proven to work over time. Therefore, our focus should only be making sure that we are following our strategy every time we're taking a trade, and we are thinking long term, not short term. Okay, that is extremely, extremely important. So, an amygdala hijack can cause a trader to panic, make hasty or impulsive trading decisions, such as cutting losses too soon, chasing losses, holding on to a losing position for too long, and this can lead to significant financial losses and also blowing of accounts, and can also cause a trader to develop negative mindset or fear of trading, right? So we always have to make sure that we are predefining our risk. When you predefine your risk, you know exactly how much you are risking in that particular trade. There is no particular reason for you to try and emphasize and put so much importance on one individual trade, because the outcome of any individual trade at any particular time is always random. So in order for us to avoid this attack, we have to have long-term mindset. Otherwise, we are prone, us as traders, we are prone to having the amygdala hijack every time, because we are always facing uncertainty. And remember, uncertainty can be perceived as danger, right? And our brain is always meant to protect us. Therefore, it's going to cause a release of those hormones, which are going to cause us to either fight, flight, or freeze, and we just let the market run through our stop loss, and we will just, I mean, we might even move the stop loss and then let the market just continue to go against us, and you just freeze, and then you realize later on, like, what am I doing? You end up cutting the trade, and then you'd have incurred a very, very big loss, which is really, really bad. So let's be mindful. Let's actually know about our emotions and what triggers our emotions, so that we can avoid significant financial losses. All these things can be avoided. All right. So when you're aware, when you become aware about your emotions, you know what triggers you. You know when that emotion, those emotions are actually about to come, you know. Therefore, you can avoid being hasty, having these impulsive trades. You can step away from your trading setup, get somewhere as such. You can actually avoid falling prey to the amygdala hijack. This is really, really important stuff, guys. We really need to pay attention. So what are some of the signs that can tell you that right now I might be having the amygdala hijack right now? So some of the signs that you're going to actually feel for yourself is things like anxiety. You're going to be anxious all of a sudden. You're going to have fear. You're going to have tense shoulders, and you may be holding your breath, and you may be angry because you've taken a loss. You're most likely going to have fast, because you're going to be breathing really, really fast, and most likely you're going to be sweating, especially if you are trading with big amount of monies and you're trading with money that you can't afford to lose. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous game to play, guys, if you are going to actually trade with the money that you can't afford. So it's always important that when we are aware of all these here, it's actually easy for us to actually overcome this, because you can just maybe take deep breath, step outside the setup, do something, then come back later, because you're going to have a free mind, and you'll have given chance for your prefrontal cortex to actually resume work, and for it to process all that, so that you can now be able to make rational decisions. Really, really important. So make sure that you look out for these signs and symptoms, so that you avoid falling prey, because this happens every time we have losses as traders. It's important for us to be aware, and we are going to avoid all this. All right. So how can you avoid this from happening? How can you avoid falling prey to the amygdala hijack? So in order to avoid amygdala hijack in forex trading, it's important for traders to maintain emotional discipline and remain calm and objective in the face of volatility or unexpected events. So this can be achieved through having a consistently profitable strategy. You really have to have a consistently profitable strategy that will give you confidence in order to execute your edge flawlessly. And then you also have to make sure that you are always respecting your risk management every time. Other than that, you need to continuously work on your mindset. Work on your mindset, ladies and gentlemen. It's extremely, extremely important, because you can have the best strategy out there, but if if your mental game is weak, you can't make money in the market. So always, always work on your mindset. And then as well, this is very big. Avoid having unrealistic expectations. Yes, you can make good amount of money from trading, but you can't make that much significant of money in in a month of you learning how to trade. It's not possible. You might get lucky and make some money, but you always find a way of giving back the money to the market, because your psychology is messed up. Don't have unrealistic expectation. Come with a balanced mindset. Unfortunately, our social media platforms, people use these social media platform by trying to scam people by telling them that you can actually get rich in 3 weeks, or in 24 hours you can make 100% of your account. And people come with such unrealistic expectations to the market, and they get humbled, all right, and then they start to experience those bad things. So it's important for us to come with really realistic expectations. So other than that, we have to make sure that we have long-term mindset. What do I mean? You're looking, if you're taking trades with a profit from using a profitable strategy, you have to think in terms of series of trades, not on a trade by trade basis. However, you have to look at it in terms of long-term uh series of trades, larger sample size, because there's so much uncertainty when you're looking at it in terms of 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. In those particular times, anything can happen. So you have to look at least 25 trades. Take 25 trades, see if you won't be profitable. If you won't be profitable after 25 trades, there's a high chance that that system might not work. All right, so repeat that so that you have confidence in the strategy. And then also, this is so much big, and I'm an advocate of meditation and mindfulness. You guys, us as traders, once you have the strategy figured it out, once you have the risk management figured it out, spend 90% of your time working on your mindset. Spend 90% of your time working on your mindset. Stop trying to learn this strategy, that strategy, that strategy, because all strategies go through losses. So stop trying to find a holy grail out there. The holy grail is within you. So stop doing all that. It's important that you avoid system hopping. All right, so practice meditation and mindfulness. All right, this is going to help you in actually uh in terms of managing of the emotions. You're going to calm your emotions, you're going to be aware, and you're going to respond much better whenever you're actually faced with anything that's going to actually cause you to react. Okay, so meditation is a must for a trader if you want to make it in this industry. Whatever keeps you calm, it might be yoga, it might be doing exercises. Make sure to find that particular thing that's going to help you become, remain calm under pressure. It's really important for you to actually learn this skill. All right. Remember, you can have the best strategy out there, but if you don't have the proper trading psychology, you will never make consistent profitable. If you don't have a proper strategy out there, you will never be able to make consistently if you can have the best strategy out there, but if your psychology is weak, you will never be able to make consistent profit in the market. It will just take one trade and it will wipe your whole account. However, we cannot overplay the importance of having a profitable strategy. This is a must. You must have a profitable strategy, and you have to have proven this that strategy actually works over a series of trades. It's extremely important. And talking about that, you guys know about our M&F mastery course. So this mastery course is a compilation of over 30 videos, in-depth videos, where we look at our strategy, the same strategy that we use, that I've shown you several times. It goes into details, and then on top of that, you get lifetime mentorship, lifetime signals, trading psychology videos, and books and audiobooks right here. You also uh, have the risk management, and then on top of that, we also do weekly trade reviews and forecast in our private community. Also, you get free trading plan and free trading journal right here, and all this only for $250 once off payment. You can't miss this out. So if you are struggling as a trader and you are not consistent, please make sure that you invest money in yourself so that you become better at the end of the day. Otherwise, you keep blowing your accounts every time. So make sure you check the first link in the description. It's going to give you access to our M&F Mastery course. So you guys remember that this amygdala hijack is always there for us. The amygdala hijack, we're always getting hijacked unless you learn how to control your emotions. You learn how to manage your emotions. Otherwise, the amygdala hijack is always going to take advantage of us, and then later on you're always going to think about it, and then you ask yourself, why do I keep on doing that? And that's going to keep happening until you learn. All right, so I hope you found value in this video. I hope you really got some really valuable information from this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe, share this with your friends that are trading, because most likely they are all going through this particular thing right here. So make sure you check out our other content on trading psychology and all that. You guys, until next time, goodbye. Hormones like